Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, classmates. We are Group 11 and 12. Our topic for today is all about the international trading system. Before to move forward, let me share with you our learning objectives. The first one is define international trading system. Second, know the importance of international trading system. Third, determine the different types of international trade. What is the international trading system? Is the exchange of capital goods and services across international borders or territories because there is a need or want of goods or services. Ito po yung nagpapalitan ng mga product at services internationally, tulad ng China to Philippines, para mapunan ang mga kakulangan ng bawat bansa.
What is the importance of international trading system? International trade allows countries to expand their markets and access goods and services that otherwise may not have been available domestically. As a result of international trade, the market is more competitive. This ultimately results in more competitive pricing and brings a cheaper product home to the consumer.
Una, export trade. Pangalawa, import-port trade. Pangatlo, entrepot trade. Ang una, export trade is a good or service produced in one country that's sold into another country. For example, sa Pilipinas, nagpo-produce tayo ng mga product tulad ng clothing accessories, bananas, at coconut oil. Itong mga product ay ina-export natin sa ibang bansa para naman ibenta. Sunod, yung import trade is a good service bought in one country that was produced in another country. Ito naman ang import. Ang import naman ay tayo naman ang bumibili ng product galing sa ibang bansa, papasok dito sa Pilipinas. Number 3, entrepot trade is a combination of export and import trade and is also known as re-export. It means importing goods from one country and exporting into the another country after adding some value of it. Ang entrepot naman ay pagbili ng product sa ibang bansa sa murang halaga. Pero hindi ito upang ibenta sa market, kundi ibenta rin papunta sa ibang bansa o export sa ibang bansa.
What is import trade? The import trade refers to good and service purchased into one nation from another. The word import originates from the word port, considering the fact that the products are frequently transported via ship to foreign countries. Similar to exports, imports are also the backbone of international trade.
What is entrepot trade? Number 3. Entrepot trade is a combination export and import trade is also known as re-export. This means importing goods from one country and exporting it to another country after adding some value to it. Dito po, isang kombinasyon ng import at export ay kilala din sa salitang muling pag-export. At ang pag-import ay uri ng kalakal kung saan ang mga kalakal ay binili ng isang domestic na kumpanya mula sa ibang mga bansa para sa layunin ng pagbebenta nito sa domestic market. At ang pag-export naman ay nagpapahiwatig ng isang kalakal kung saan ang isang kumpanya ay nagbebenta ng mga kalakal sa ibang mga bansa na gawa sa loob ng sariling bansa.
The disadvantages of trade are job outsourcing, more competition for domestic industry, degradation of natural resources, poor working conditions, theft of intellectual property. Because of trade, certain goods may be cheaper to produce overseas than to make domestically. Because of this, job losses are likely to happen. Because foreign labor is typically cheaper, It is beneficial for companies to allocate their human resources outside the country. This hurts the domestic economy. When Apple chooses to manufacture its iPhones in China, Americans lose jobs, as the cost of labor is a lot cheaper in China. It would be costly for Apple to produce in America. This is because workers need to be paid more. International trade poses a big threat towards the development of domestic industries, hindering their growth, leading sometimes to collapse. This is caused by intense competition as well as unrealistic imports, which takes over the local market with cheap goods, resulting in the death of local businesses. For example, the entry of cheap footwear from other countries has damaged the local shoe industry of the Philippines. Free trade encourages businesses to move to countries with poor environmental and labor regulations. These moves could potentially lead to systematic labor abuses and destruction of the environment when foreign companies move operations to a country without any rules that protect the environment. The goal for businesses in developed nations is to exploit natural resources in other regions where restrictions or regulations are not strict. The companies from the developed world often sell short-term gains for long-term problems. Money from natural resources exploitation can fund government operations and encourage corruption, allowing the wealthy to benefit while the working poor struggles to survive. The reason for this disadvantage involves the competition requirement for free trade. The goal is to create an overall lack of restrictions so that consumers can have cheaper goods. That means paying unfair wages and lowering costs, promoting poor working conditions that workers must endure. Some nations even permit the hiring of children for factory jobs or heavy labor, placing them in dangerous substandard conditions. Some workers in Jordan, for example, that produce clothing for American retailers, might work for 20 hours a day, not receive a paycheck for months, then face physical abuse. The wider a product is distributed, the more likely that it may be illegally copied by overseas businesses. Piracy can be in the form of proprietary information or market branding. This is a huge market loss for many businesses, especially for well-known brands. It is very difficult for a company to prosecute intellectual property violators across country borders.